So welcome, guys. We're going to get right into it. We have a great topic today. Our topic for the month is deepening our client relationships. Give me 60s. Yeah. Maybe next time I'll play something. And you know what, Hallie, you tell me what you want to hear next time, and I'll play a song that you want in our next webinar. But anyway, our topic for the month is deepening our client relationships and kind of making those next levels. So we have great guest coaches today. I'd like to first review our August feedback. So we did negotiations in August, and thank you guys so much for filling out the surveys. I have some amazing success stories to share with you guys. I'm so excited. First, we have Vanessa Rankins from our Oak Park office, and Vanessa said, "My biggest success this month is my mindset. I'm amazed at not being desperate to get a client or a deal, no settling on commission, and also letting my value be made known. My Accelerate team is great and is a definite go-to for help. With systems in place and my CRM on autopilot, I'm expecting great future results." You go, girl. It all starts with our mind, right? It all starts with our mindset. So I love that. Vanessa, I would guess that maybe you took our Getting What You're Worth class. If you didn't, I would recommend it. It is all about mindset, knowing how to prove and articulate your value and not being desperate and getting what you're worth. So Vanessa, congratulations. What a great win. Next, we have Amy Klamafagish, and hopefully I didn't pronounce that wrong, Amy, from our Orland Park office. Amy said, "In June, I reached out to 50% of my database and ended up receiving one new buyer and had one past client call to talk about downsizing. I will be reaching out to the rest of my database this month." So Amy, awesome. And I have a lot of agents that are doing this right now. The name of the game is prospecting. As much as we like it, love it, or hate it, that is what we all need to be doing in a market like this. So Amy, I love to hear that you went back and reached out to your database and just spurred some conversations, and look what happened. She got a couple conversations and is probably going to get a deal out of it. So amazing work. Please, please keep it up. And if none of you are doing the same thing that Amy's doing, I highly recommend you find a reason to reach back out to people in your database. Next, we have Karen McKeon from our North Center office. I love this one. Karen said, "I put a deal together with my Accelerate team lead. She was out of town and asked me to cover showings for her buyers. Following the showings, I wrote up the contract for the buyers while she was out of town. Deal was accepted, and we are co-buyer agents on the deal. Everything has gone smoothly through A&I, and it is scheduled to close on September 25th. As I didn't know this agent prior to the Accelerate program, it wouldn't have happened if I weren't on the team. We have a great team. Everyone gets along great and helps each other." I love this. This proves the magic of our small accountability groups. It is not only to bounce ideas off of each other, but it is to help each other when we need it. And this turned into a nice deal. So congratulations on working as a good team, guys. My last agent success, which I'm really excited about, is from Rachel Hooker in our Arlington Heights office. This is a lot of text on here, so you don't have to read it all. I'm going to read it for you. But I loved the story. So it's Accelerate Relationship Month, and I had an August win that's a pretty good testament. Back in February, I received a cold lead. All I knew is they were possibly interested in a high-end rental in the Northwest suburbs. Know your audience is timeless advice, and it's crazy what you could learn about people professionally and personally on the internet in just a few minutes before you return a first call. I noted the things we had in common and took that information away. Armed with the most professional printouts and materials, we toured 2 homes, and I really clicked with his wife, who was very pregnant with baby number 3. I made sure they understood the white glove service I provide to my clients. While they were not selected from the 17 applicants, which I'm sure you can all kind of relate to, the process forced us to get creative, and we got to know each other in the mess of that competition. Over the next 5 to 6 months, the 3 of us kept in contact. Renting versus buying, third trimester pregnancy, and the challenges of city life with 3 little kids. They shared photos when the baby was born. We cracked jokes about the shit show of a life with a newborn and toddlers, which was her story not so long ago. I rarely reached out about real estate in those months, and only in answer to their questions. Genuine personal check-ins was my focus. When their questions leaned towards properties that were for sale, I was quick with the answer. When their concerns were outside of my scope, I suggested a specific person that could help us. Fast forward to August, we closed on their first home, $1.45 million. It was my biggest sale ever, a smooth at transaction, and a perfect ending for my clients. There is so much that I love in this story, Rachel, and I am so proud of you for seeing this through. And I know that working with buyers right now is so challenging. And when you go at it from a place of authenticity, of true care and concern, and really good service to that client that's on their time frame and not ours, you can see how that can turn into a win. And I love that it was an at closing. This is just an amazing success story. So congratulations to you, Rachel. What a great story. Thank you for sharing that. All right, let's get into it. We have 3 amazing guest coaches today. We're going to be talking about next level relationships. And the reason why I like bringing in Proper Title when we're talking about next level relationships is because I feel like we can do so much better as agents than just manage a transaction without managing it all the way to the closing table, right? Isn't it great that we can have some control and some guidance all the way through the lifestyle of a transaction, all the way to the closing table and beyond? And a way to do that is to lean into our partners like Proper Title. So today I have some great guest coaches. I have Pam Lynch here, who is one of our brokers out of our Gold Coast office. I have Kim O'Donnell here. She is our Vice President of Business Development from Proper Title. And I have Shane Mowry, and he is an @properties attorney partner. So I'd love to do a little intro for each of them just so we can get to know everybody a little bit better. So Pam, she moved to Chicago from Philly in 2003 with no sphere. I want to just highlight that fact. She was Rookie of the Year in her first year in sales with $8.6 million in production. Every single sale that she made that first year came from a floor call or an open house. That is amazing. And I thought that was the most funnest fact you could have shared with me, Pam. It just talks about, being able to prospect, being able to reach out to people, create new relationships. What an amazing success story in her first year of sales. She joined in 2009. She is, of course, the past Rolex winner, and she has a passion for dogs and cycling with her dog, which I thought was really cute. So Pam, we're excited to have you here today with us. Next, we have Kim O'Donnell from Proper Title. Kim has 19 years of experience with a national underwriter in marketing, title insurance, and escrow services to the industry's leading brokers, lenders, developers, attorneys, and investors. She works with commercial clients across the United States and assists with transactions from $1 to $200 million. So I would say that Kim knows what she's doing. She joined Proper Title in 2015. She likes to partner with her customers to help enhance their business, adapt to change, which I think is super important, and find creative solutions to succeed. She has 2 sons that are 21 and 24. She raised them in the Western Burbs, but she now resides in Fulton Market, and she loves her mini golden doodles. So Kim, thank you so much for being here with us today. And we have Mr. Shane Mowry, who is an @properties attorney partner. So Shane graduated from Illinois State University and John Marshall Law School. He's a residential real estate transaction attorney in Chicagoland for over 20 years. Again, another person who knows what he's doing. He's a dedicated resource and advocate for our @properties agents. I know he works very closely in our Orland Park office and with agents across Chicagoland. And he's a proud dad of 2 littles, ages 7 and 4. So welcome, Shane. So let's get right to it. We have a lot of guest coaches. We have, call it 15-ish minutes to chat. So I have some good questions I would love to throw to our guests. And I would love for us to talk about how our agents can work with our attorneys and our title partners to create an amazing customer experience and really go deeper with our relationships with our customers. So Pam, I would love to start with you, if that's good, if you want to unmute yourself. Hi, Pam. I know I just introduced you, but we're excited to have you here with us today in our Accelerate program. Actually, I'm going to start with Kim, if you don't mind. Sorry, Kim, I'm going to pivot a little bit. Kim, we're excited to have you too. I've never had you as a guest coach in Accelerate, so thank you for being here. I want to start with what is proper title? I know there's some agents at properties that really don't know who proper title is. So I'm wondering if you could give us a good background into proper title and kind of what the benefits are to our agents for working with them.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, Proper Title is a full service title agency, and we are owned by App Properties. So Mike and Dad were the original investors, and we are licensed in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Wisconsin. We do both residential and commercial closings. And some of the benefits to the agents for App Properties, they get paid at closing, which is very nice and convenient. They don't have to worry about picking up checks everywhere. We also offer free preliminary title reports. So if any of the brokers would like to take a look at title or get a snapshot on the background, that's something that we offer for free. And I think one of the biggest things I hear from brokers is that they love that they have a dedicated account rep. They have a contact person to call for their transactions, that we're available 24/7. And you don't see that a lot of other title companies. Let's see, we have 14 convenient locations throughout the Chicago metro area. We have a great, super easy, user-friendly net sheet calculator that you can find right on the intranet. We do a lot of customized education and training. We have someone at Proper Sabrina that does a fabulous job with that. And, you know, we've done actually 44,000 closings to date. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. So we've got a lot of experience, and I'm really proud of our team.
Yeah, that's super exciting. And we were joking before we started the webinar today, guys, that title is probably the sexiest topic on the planet. Just kidding. But it's not, right? And it's not always fun to learn about it. It's not always fun to talk about it. But where I think the real value lies is if we can control some of that process all the way to the closing table and beyond, and really provide that like full service brokerage level of experience to our clients, that's where the value is. I love that they could get paid at close. I love that they have, a dedicated account rep. All of this makes it so much easier for you guys to navigate that transaction, which brings me into bringing Pam on to talk. Pam, now it's for sure your turn, sorry. Pam is an agent who really leans into our attorney partners as well as our proper title friends. And I would love for you, Pam, to talk about how your attorney title relationships are like an easy button. Because when we first started talking about bringing you guys on as guest coaches, you were like, I don't even really have a lot to say because I really just leave it like to my attorney and our title partners, and they make it so easy. So I'd love for you to talk about how that's like an easy button and kind of how that has helped your transactions.
Sure. So when I started years ago, of course, we had source attorneys, and I used a variety of attorneys. My favorite ended up being, of course, Shane Mowry. He is my preferred attorney. And then from there, I've relied on him to develop the proper title relationship. We talked about it early on when proper title came on 10 years ago. So as I said, I don't have much to do with it. I know that if I'm talking to a title company too often, it's not going well. I know how Shane's team works, and they know how I work. And that's how I talk about it with my client, and that to assure them that the attorney will be in touch, and then the title company's the last step, and it's just easy. But I start out very, at the very beginning when you're talking to your clients, the title company's the last step. So they don't really truly understand it until you walk them along to the end. And then in the very end, they're happy.
Yeah. So how do you explain when you're working with a client, you've gotten past A&I and it's a solid deal and you're going to close. At what point do you bring up like the title side of it? And how do you kind of explain how it's going to work with your clients?
I really put it actually in Shane's hand and Shane's team's hands. So I have, I go through it verbally. I also back it up with an email of next steps, and then they take it from there.
Yeah, I love that. So leaning into a really well-qualified attorney and also an attorney who works with proper title, I think is just a great way to really service that client well. So awesome. Shane, your turn. Welcome. We're glad to have you here today. I think it's the first time we've had one of our attorney partners on one of our webinars, so I'm excited to have you. It'd be great if you can explain to us from like your perspective within that life cycle of the transaction where you come in and you talk about title. And also if you can talk a little bit about what happens if an attorney doesn't use proper title and has other title relationships. Can you kind of go through that for us?
Sure. I mean, we as the seller's attorney are obviously responsible for making sure that title is done, ordering title, and getting title cleared, and that we have a successful closing. That's our job. Pam, as she expressed, is great in how the process works from start to finish. It's very streamlined. She knows what works. She knows how we can make a successful closing, and she puts that into my hands and doesn't have to worry, and knows that I will choose proper title to make sure her closing is successful. It's completely hands off. She knows the job's going to get done. But to follow up on what you said, it's not always going to be that easy button for some agents with their attorneys, because rest assured, there's lots of title companies out there. You as the agent can't control what title company the attorney is preferring to get a closing done for the transaction. So I think the big question for agents is, how do I make sure that my closing is successful, and how do I stress to the attorney that I would prefer that they use proper title for the closing transaction. And I think that really it comes down to that, well, like I said, yes, there's lots of title companies out there. Most attorneys honestly aren't, if they aren't using proper title, don't use proper title because they just don't like to change. I'll be honest, I was that guy before proper title came on board and I knew what proper title had to offer. I didn't choose proper title because I'm a normal person. I don't like change. I don't like to change what's comfortable. I just like have it and to do what I know is working. It took someone to ask me to use proper title to actually just change my ways. It took an agent to say, hey, will you give it a try? And I think that's what you as the agents have to know, is that you just have to use your voice. Make sure that the seller knows that it actually is their choice to choose the title company, and the agent can stress that to their own client and say, you need to ask the attorney that you're working with to use proper title to make sure that your closing is going to be successful. We're all part of one big cohesive collective group in this closing transaction. The agent, the attorney, and the title company is integral in that role. We all have the common goal of making the client look good and having a successful closing. So the seller should want that, and also want to choose a title company that's going to share in that mindset.
I love that. I love that. And sometimes it is difficult conversations to have with the attorneys, right? Because they are afraid to change and they have their established relationships. I was just talking with an agent yesterday out of our Park Ridge office, trying to explain who proper title is because he didn't know, and why it's important to use them. And I just want to throw this out there because we've all talked about the fact that we're all part of the same company, right? At Properties owns proper title. So when you're supporting our ancillary services like mortgage, like title, you're putting money back into the company so we can still continue to invest in our tech, our events, our marketing, our services, our coaching and training. It really helps us be able to balance that financially. And it helps us weather a lot of different markets, right? When markets are a little bit tighter and maybe not as tight, but it helps us really weather markets like that too. So you're really doing the company a favor as well. Not only are you able to service your client better, but you're also helping support your own company. And I know that at Properties, we have agents who really believe in that and really love us as a company. This is just another way to support the company. And it provides value for you and your business at the same time. And it really is a win-win for everybody. Like Shane said, some attorneys just don't want to change. So really just asking them, just asking for that favor, like, can you please just close with proper title, shouldn't be a huge deal. And Kim, I'm sure you can speak to how it is no big deal to, kind of connect her with an attorney who's never closed with proper title. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Like if an agent works with an attorney and has a relationship, and that attorney closes with, say, Chicago title, what should they do as a next step to get them connected?
Well, first of all, it's really easy to become an agent for Proper Title if you are an agent with one of our underwriters, which is all the big players, Chicago Title, First American, Fidelity. And if they're an agent with them, it's a DocuSign. They click one button and they're approved. And the attorney does core services. The title company will send all the raw data, and the attorney will actually clear the title and, I guess, sort of say, put the title commitment together. And whatever the attorney is getting with their current title company, say Chicago Title or Fidelity, we match that. So financially, it won't impact the attorney to make a change. And I can sign up an attorney in under 30 seconds. So
Yeah.
it's really, really easy. And we actually have an online attorney agent portal that is the same one that Chicago Title uses. So if attorneys are like, oh, I love their online portal, we actually have the same one. They don't even have to change their username and password. It's that easy.
I love that. And really important to note is something that you said, is the fact that you match what the attorney gets paid. That is really important to note, guys. I came from a different brokerage, and we also had a title arm to our company, and our title company did not match what the attorneys got paid. And that was a hurdle, and that was a struggle. And we always struggled to get our agents to use title because of that fact, because we weren't matching what the attorneys got paid. So that's a super important part to note. And when you're having a conversation with an attorney that you have a relationship with, that's important to tell them that it is no big deal. It is no change, like no big deal. So Kim, can they connect an attorney with you to have that conversation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They can call me, they can email me, text me, and I can take it from there and answer any questions that they have about Proper Title and our team. So like I said, it's
Awesome.
very simple.
And you guys have a really great net sheet. I know that was brought up a few minutes ago. A really, really handy dandy net sheet, and you guys do training sessions on it. So I know, again, we don't love to learn about title, but it really is helpful for our transactions. I would love to end with Pam again. And I'm wondering, now that we've talked about all this and presented all this, just tell us, how has the ease of this either gotten you more business or help you, service your clients better? Just tell us how it's impacted your business personally.
Sure. Well, it's helped elevate my business, my service proposition to my clients. So when I'm first meeting with them, whether it's a buyer or a seller, I talk how we work together. And with that confidence, I get them excited not only about the process, but of getting there. If it's a buyer, there's that fourth person, the lender. So that's key too. So with your proper rate representative, this all falls into the same thing. And then of course, this is the last step. So we finally get there. It's comfortable knowing, and I love to be able to tell my clients, hey, listen, and explain what they're going to be doing in the title company. I said, but Proper Title's goal is to close within an hour. I said, most, and I've been doing this for many years, you're happy if it's 2 hours. And so I said, and that just makes it quicker for you to get your keys and get to that new home or get to that moving company to get this process started. And it just goes full circle.
Love it. Love it. And I also put something on screen, guys, where you can see we make it easy to ask an attorney to close with Proper Title, even within the DMS. So when you're putting your deal in there, you have an option to actually send an already written email to an attorney asking that they close with Proper Title. So we couldn't make it more easy. You can do this. You can also connect an attorney with Proper Title to have a conversation so they can make the attorney feel comfortable with change, like to Shane's point. And I'm sure once Shane got on board with Proper Title, it's been easy peasy ever since. So lots of different ways to get them connected with Proper Title and really lean into being that full service broker, because we're different and we're better than those, some of our competition that really, they don't offer many services, right? There are very, very few, if any, services. This is another thing we can offer in order to prove our value and not have to negotiate our commissions, right? So lean into it. Vanessa saying, yes, I use that letter. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So that, again, that's within the DMS. I put everybody's contact information on these slides, guys. If you wanted to reach out to Pam or Kim or Shane, just to pick their brains a little bit more, please feel free to jot down their phone number or their email. They're all very willing to have conversations with anyone that's interested. Thank you guys so much for being here today with us. Before I wrap, I'd love to go over homework because you all know that I love our homework. So our homework, which is due by next Wednesday, is create a cap farm in your CRM, and you're going to use it to order the next cap gift. I don't know if we've announced the next cap gift yet, but I did see it announced at the sales rally yesterday. So it's a really cute fall themed cap gift. And again, your cap gift farm does not need to be big. It can literally be 2 people. I don't care how big it is. You can have the gift sent directly to your clients. You can have it sent to you, and you could do a nice pop by at their house. But I would love for you guys to put together a cap farm for maybe your highest A-ranked, biggest referral sources and show them some love. You're also going to connect with the people on your super connectors list and the reconnections list from your worksheet that you filled out earlier in the month. Again, I'm just getting you guys to prospect. So continue to write your 2 note cards and make your 5 calls each weekday, and remember to update your CRM. Sabrina, thank you so much for all your comments in the chat. Sabrina is also a really great resource on the Proper Title side as well. So your next meeting is your accountability group meeting on Wednesday, September 27th. I will post the meeting agenda in the app after the webinar. We are wrapping at 9:30. Thank you guys, Shane, Pam, and Kim. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, if you guys have questions, please reach out to them directly. I hope you guys have a great day.